So, hi everybody and welcome back. This is Unreal Engine 5 tutorial series for beginners. This is video number 70, I think. Yeah, and we stopped here with our sound. Yeah, it's not selected, but we stopped with sound. We've watched a little bit what sounds are. We watched here the audio, the cues, the waves, and so on. And now we are going to talk about particles a little bit. And for that reason, we go to the starter content. There is a section which called with the name particles. And this one is a little bit difficult. That's why we don't talk much here about it. I just give you a brief overview. Particles are more or less effects, right? And let's demonstrate this. I drag and drop one particle here in my scene. And this looks a little bit strange, but when you play, then this particle, you can see it's an effect, it's a fire effect. It looks better. And to demonstrate this a little bit better, let's change the material on our back on our floor tile, on our this big white floor. I will change the material because we can't see it very well. So what I click, I select the floor, I go in details, so I jump here in details and search material, and it's on top almost. So from transform static mesh, and there comes material, and I change this to another material. Here it's a drop down, and I select this material, grass. Yes, let's select our grass material. It looks not better, but grass material is all time nice. Why not? And here now, but this fire is still not very visible. Let's change it one more time. Sorry for that. What is very good? A very nice material. Let's go for this. Who could not rust? No, it's not visible. Let's go for fire and anything dark. I need dark, right? No, darker. What is that? Spark noobs. Have they not dark material here? Oh, what is oh, can I see this? No, I can't see this. This was before. It's definitely not dark. Okay, I think the thing what I wanted to do is something dark so we can see the fire here a little bit better. So before we go to our effects, should we talk about materials fast? Oh, I see, we have not talked about materials anyway. I think we talk about materials in this section. Sorry for that. Let's delete our what was that? Oh no, this was the wrong one. Select the fire and delete this one. Yeah, so let's talk about materials in this one a little bit, because I want to create the material, and you saw I already changed here a little bit the material. So here I click in my folder, which I have from the starter content as well, and bring it to I have brought it here to my folder materials, and we have here many materials which are provided from the starter content. But how our materials are created actually, that's a very interesting question, because it is important to know to create your own material later. I give you a short overview only here. To create a material, we need first something else, and that is a texture. And I click here on the texture, and a texture is actually, just imagine at start it's just an image, right? All image files, for example, if you have any image program, you can save it as what they are saving these textures actually. I don't know. For example, PNG. Yeah, I think this is the most time what they are saving this. It says here? No, it says not. Anyway, I think they are saving it as a PNG file. And then if you have then this PNG file from your image program, you can import it here in textures, and then you have the textures. But to create a, but from these textures you want a material, right? So the difference is here, this material you apply to objects. For example, this is our floor, you can apply a material on it, but you can't apply a texture on it. So let me go here again. I have selected my floor tile. This is the big, but the ground thing here. And I go here in details down to material, and you can see I can apply a material, but I can't apply a texture normally. So this is the thing what we need, and you can see this they have created, for example, the materials with these textures. And to demonstrate this, let's go to the material, and this one, let's add this one here. Oops, not this one here. So I have now this ground grass selected. Then I went to material and I clicked this back arrow sign. I told you that is a shortcut. Instead of searching here the material, you can just select anything and then click all the time this little arrow tile. It is connected to the browser here and it will apply it here. It's a very nice shortcut. I like it. You should use it. If you don't know the name, if you know the name, of course, then you can go here, type in the name, and you have it too. So that's said. But I said you can't use the texture here, and normally you have here a texture, right? Well, when I click now, double click on this material, this is the material which I applied here on the top. I double click it, and what you can see, oops, let me delete this one, this was from the last tutorial. You can see this is a pre-made material, and that looks actually really strange. And yeah, I myself don't know much about materials too, but the only thing what I know is we don't need that at start. This is a pre-made created material, and you need really watch later a material tutorial how to create this. And it's most time for designers, they have to, also for me perhaps later, but I make the very basic version and I will show you that one. So this material looks really crazy, but in the end effect they have just a texture here. This node, this is the only node which we will create later too, and this is the texture they take, and in the end effect they just connect it to this node here. This is the material node, right? This one looks really complicated because they made something more. They just, you see, they have here added a little bit height, changed the colors and so on. And this one, this all things you learn if you are interested in something like that in material section, but not right. So that's said, let's close this because this is a little bit complicated for us now. We go back to create a material. So we go to the textures, and here we have also a problem. I have to talk this too later when I will talk about textures too, but right now we want just create a material. I said a texture is just an image. You get it from outside the program, you import it, then you have it on your textures, and then you can select anything here. If it's a texture, for example, let's select this strange looking material here. Yes, it says T, this is the convention, T underscore for textures. Later, if you want to search it, you can find all things with T. That's very nice. And then right click on it, not open it up. For example, if you double click on it, then this one comes up. There is nothing much to do, I think. There are some settings, you can check the details and so on. But what we do is actually we just right click on it, and on top the first what you see is create material. Let's do this one. And if you see, now you see they created from this texture just this material. Then I would change this one, this prefix here, to M for material. I'm not sure if they are using material with M. Yes, they use. Good. Where I am? Here. No. So you see, now I have a problem. I have renamed it and now I can't find it. So what I'm doing is I select my textures, I go to the search bar, I press now M, and I know underscore that now this one will pop up what I selected. That's good. That's why I like the search bar. And now we can get rid of this, and here it is selected. Nice. And the next thing is we have already created a material, and let's double click it and see how it looks like. And when I double click it, I dock this again here on top so I can switch here nicely, and you see what I said to you before. The material, the really basic material, contains only the texture. This is the image which you have imported anyhow, and then you connect this to the base color. And all other things what you see here are manipulations for making it more specular, for example, more roughness and metallic, and then you calculate some heights, normals, and so on. There are many options, many things. It's a big section. Material is not easy if you go for high end, and if you are a designer or a modeler, level designer, and so on, who are working with design and you have to create material for your objects, then you have to do this definitely. I am not a real designer actually. I start to learn this too, but I'm more the programming side, and people like me who have no clue about this one learns too. And then we are going to do this one. So let me see this. What we are going to do is, sorry for that, there was someone on my door. What we are going to do now is no, what I want to say. I want to say people like me who have no clue, they just import materials. They are using already created materials, and there is something very important here to mention later too. There is, for example, a very big free material system. It is Megascan. You probably heard it. High quality material, photogrammetry material, and so on. And Epic have bought it. You can use it for all your projects for free. That's amazing. But the only downside is you need a very good PC if you are going for the high textures, like I mentioned this also. For example, if you go for 4K 8K, then you definitely need a very good PC to work on. But you can go, of course, you can scale it down and use the lower scales, then it works as well with these textures. So about Megascan we will talk too, but not right now. So that said, here all for material, it was very easy to create. You see, it's just a texture. This node is just our texture, which is here connected, and the material is done. And here is the preview of this material. This looks very strange, and the only thing what you have to do is then save this. Let's save it now. Takes a while because my PC is little. Okay, then you can close it, and here it's on the wrong place. Let's drag and drop it to the material, move here, and let's fix our directions, fix this one. And then I go here to the materials folder and find this one. Now this strange looking thing I did, M-lamp matte, and now I drag and drop it here. And you see now I have a very strange looking floor. But of course I could make the same thing here. I select this one and go here. Would work too if you don't know where your asset is in the scene. So both are working, drag and drop or here. So this was a little bit about texture talking, not much. The last thing what I want to mention here before we go on is you can see the textures have a red line here, but here is a problem actually, and the problem here is they have not distinguished that. Oh no. Okay, normally I expected it is distinguished. For example, there are images and there are normals. For example, this bluish color here looking things here, what you see, they are also textures, but there are normals normally, very special textures, let's call it this way. When we double click on it, they have a very special functionality, while in textures they will give us depth of a material. That's the problem. So for example, let me open up my, before I close here, we go to my material, the created material, this one. I double click on it, and what I'm going to do now is I get rid of this texture. I delete it. So now I have a problem. Now I have nothing, and it looks like this one. And there is, I think, when I press the T key and click on the scene, there is a texture sample node pops up. Let's dock this here on top, it's better to see. So one more time, this is the starting node, and without a texture, so without our image in it. Normally you would click on this one, go down here to material and find this texture. For example, I would go now here to texture and then select the texture, and then I have the image. But what you can do also is you just connect this one here directly, and what happens is an arrow. Very nice. Missing input texture. Why that? Was it not? There was, I think they changed something. Normally there was a way that you can work with a very basic colors here. Sorry for that, this one is not working like I wanted. I show you that later, perhaps that wasn't something else. Okay, sorry for that. Let's forget this. Anyway, okay, we close that. And we say no. Okay. The thing is, I want to show you that you can just make a very basic color with just with this one node here, then you connect it, and there is then RGB colors, and then you can just make a very easy base color. But I was talking about normals, right? And I said there is no height and depth. Right now when you watch this one has not height and depth. What I mean with height and depth is, let me add another material. For example, I'm going to add this strange looking brick, right? And when you see this brick now, this has a visual illusion of a little bit depth, right? So this one looks a little bit deeper than this one, and so on. And that is made actually with this called normals. And that's why I said it would be cool if they distinguish them with textures too, but they are textures of course, but yeah. But we have to use them differently. In our material you combine then this with that and that and so on. That was the strange looking combination. Let me click this one here again. For example, I double click on it and I dock this here on top, and you see, ooh, that looks even worse than the one before. Oh my god. You see how crazy this can go? I can't even scroll down, so crazy it goes. Okay, you can see they combine. What the real thing is, there, I don't know if I would ever use something so complicated. Anyway, let's see. They make here some just let me see, texture combinations, multiplications of colors and so, but the real thing is here, what I normal texture, they get a normal here anywhere. Here's the blue thing, what I told you. Here is a normal, for example, and there is also a diffuse texture, and they combine this all anyhow, and in the end, oh, let me go down, and they combine it, they mix it and so on, and you see there are different normals here, diffuse, normal, and something on. And then after combining many things, testing out and so on, they made and they bring it here as a base color, rough color, normal color. Oh my god, yeah. It looks very, very complicated. Actually, this is not so complicated like it looks. And what I mean with that is, yeah, most things what you see here are just calculations, which means you just get this one and then you try this one. It's believe me, this looks only crazy, but it's not. It's not. It's not easy, but it's not difficult as well. It's straightforward. Okay, I think I stop here. This video was a little bit strange. We will talk here about, yeah, we started already talking here about a little textures, even though we want to make just materials. But like I said, materials, if you want to make a material, you need a texture, and then you have just create from this texture this material and apply the material on the asset. Yeah, that's it normally, but it's more in detail. Of course, it's not so fast, but it's also not so difficult. So I think I stop here, and in the next video we will continue a little bit. In the next video we definitely continue with particles. Okay, bye.